AITA for ghosting my fiancée after I saw her call me convenient, not forever during her Instagram live that she thought I wouldn't see. My name's Tam. I'm 30. I work in IT. Nothing crazy. Mostly back-end troubleshooting and helping people reset passwords they've already written down wrong. I spend my days in the soft blue glow of monitors, solving other people's problems that they could probably figure out themselves if they just paid attention. But that's the job. I don't mind it. There's something reassuring about systems that do exactly what they're supposed to, even when the humans using them don't. Life's stable. My job's predictable. I don't do drama. Jessica, my fiancée, was the opposite of that. She's 28, runs the front desk at a car dealership. Smart, funny, kind when she wants to be. She can talk anyone into anything. I've seen her convince a guy to upgrade his car warranty while talking about reality TV and eating drive-through fries, and she lives on social media. The first time I saw her do it was impressive. This middle-aged man walks in for an oil change, leaves with the premium warranty package and a smile on his face. She has this way of making people feel like she's doing them a favor, even when they're the ones handing over their credit cards. Her manager loves her. Calls her a natural closer. I used to think it was just charisma. Now I wonder how much of her life is just closing deals with different audiences. Every outfit, every latte, every joke someone else made that she reposted like it was hers, it all went up online. Stories, TikToks, Reels, Lives. She called it just for fun, but it wasn't. She had followers, not influencer level, but enough to think she was building a brand. At first, I didn't care. I watched it build gradually. 400 followers. Then 1,200. Then 3,800. Not a huge number, but enough that strangers would occasionally recognize her at bars or restaurants. "Are you Jessica style, love?" They'd ask, and I'd watch her transform, shoulders back, voice pitched slightly higher, camera-ready smile. OMG yes. Thanks for following. Those interactions gave her a rush I could practically see rippling through her body. I'm not one of those "why are you posting yourself online?" guys. It made her happy. She wasn't doing anything shady, or so I thought. A few weeks ago, she said she was doing a girls' night. Just Macy and Katie coming over, she said, pulling her hair into a messy bun that I knew took her 15 minutes to perfect. Nothing wild. We've got that cake tasting tomorrow anyway. She was referring to our wedding cake, scheduled 6 months out. May wedding. Her idea. Better lighting for photos, she'd explained. Nothing big. Wine, some snacks, maybe a rom-com. Just her and 2 close friends from work. She texted me around 7 p.m. with a "love you, see you tomorrow," and a wine emoji. Cool. I stayed in, ordered Chinese, watched some dumb movie she would have made fun of. One of those action flicks where physics doesn't apply and everyone has unlimited ammo. The kind of thing she'd call testosterone theater with an eye roll. The food was good though, spicy General Tso's that burned just right, the container sweating through the paper bag. I ate straight from the carton, feet up on the coffee table. Something I couldn't do when she was home because we're adults, Tam, not college freshmen. Then around 10:45, something hit me. She hadn't posted anything. Not one photo. Not one girl story. This was unusual enough that it actually pulled me out of the movie. Jessica documents everything. Meal prep Mondays. Wind down Wednesdays. Even the mundane stuff gets filtered and posted. Last week she took a picture of a cloud that looked exactly like a dolphin, and posted it with 3 different filters asking followers to vote on which one they liked best. No clips of her friends dancing to some throwback song. For someone who posts when the sky looks slightly different, it was weird. I opened Instagram out of habit. That's when I remembered something I hadn't thought about in over a year. An old account. It was from back when I was trying to set up a Twitch channel. Nothing serious, just streaming some gaming sessions on weekends. I wanted to see how the multi-platform integration worked, how notifications appeared across different platforms. Technical stuff. The kind of thing she'd tune out when I explained it. Back when I was testing out multi-stream settings for a side project, I made a burner egg to see what streams look like from the viewer side. Different name, no photo, just a blank account. On a whim, I logged in, scrolled a bit, then I saw it. Jessica was live. The title just said girls. The profile picture pulsed with that pink and orange ring that signals someone's broadcasting. My thumb hovered over it for a second. Something in my gut tightened, like when you sense bad news before you actually hear it. Classic Jessica energy. I tapped in. There were maybe 20 people watching. Her 2 friends were in the background, sitting on a couch with wine glasses, music playing low. Jessica was front and center, sitting cross-legged, reading comments out loud and laughing. Our apartment looked different through the screen. Smaller, or maybe just compressed into the social media aesthetic she cultivated. String lights I'd helped her hang cast a warm glow. Plants I watered positioned strategically in the background. A space we shared, transformed into her personal set. She looked tipsy. Nothing new. Someone typed in the comments, "Are you bringing your man to the wedding planning stuff or not?" Jessica laughed. The question seemed to amuse her. She took another sip of wine, this deep burgundy liquid catching the light as she tilted the glass. I noticed she was using the good stemware, the ones her mother gave us as an engagement gift. The ones we were saving for special occasions. Her friend leaned in and said, "Yeah. Is Tam even involved?" And then it happened. Jessica smirked and said, "He's convenient. Not forever." The words landed like ice water. I felt my body go still, my breathing shallow. On screen, in our living room, life continued. The moment for them was nothing, a throwaway comment, a casual dismissal of 3 years together, of promises made. Her friends cracked up. Someone typed LOL savage in the chat. Another one dropped crying emojis. Jessica just sipped her wine and smiled at the camera. I didn't comment. I watched their laughter, the way Katie threw her head back, the way Macy nudged Jessica's shoulder in approval. These were people who had been to our home for dinner, who had given us housewarming gifts, who had hugged me hello at work functions. And they were laughing at the idea that I was temporary. A placeholder. A convenience. I didn't screen record. I didn't message her. I just closed the app, set my phone down, stared at the blank TV screen in front of me and realized I just watched my fiancée audition for Single Life Live. And the worst part, she thought no one who mattered would see it. The next morning, she came home like nothing happened. I'd been awake for hours. Sleep never really came. I kept hearing that line, kept seeing that smirk. I made coffee, strong and black, stared out the kitchen window at the apartment complex across the street. People were leaving for work, normal Tuesday morning. Everything continuing as if the world hadn't shifted. Dropped her overnight bag by the door, kicked her shoes off, made a joke about how much wine they had. I asked her how it went. She said, "Chill. Nothing crazy. Just needed a night with the girls." She smelled like perfume and sleep, her makeup slightly smudged under her eyes. Her hair was pulled back in a real messy bun now, not the carefully arranged one from yesterday. If I hadn't seen the live, I might have found it endearing. Might have kissed her forehead and asked if she wanted aspirin. I nodded. Cool. That was it. No hint of anything different on my face. No sharp tone. It wasn't hard to keep my expression neutral. Something had disconnected inside me, like a critical wire had been severed. I moved through the motions of our morning routine on autopilot. Coffee poured. Breakfast started. Small talk exchanged. No passive-aggressive side comments. She didn't know I'd seen it. She didn't know I'd heard her say it. He's convenient. Not forever. Those words had crawled inside me, made a home in my chest. 4 words that redefined everything I thought I knew about us. I watched her scroll through her phone, probably checking the engagement on last night's stories, tallying likes and comments, measuring her social value in digital currency. The diamond on her left hand caught the morning light. 3 months' salary. That's what they say you should spend. I'd spent 5, saved for a year to get her the one she'd circled in a magazine and casually left open on the coffee table. She poured herself coffee and started scrolling through her phone while I cooked breakfast. That's when I knew I wasn't going to say anything. Not right away. Because the worst thing you can do to someone who thinks they're above consequences is let them hang themselves slowly with their own words. Over the next few days, I didn't get colder. I contemplated confronting her. Rehearsed speeches in my head while I showered. Imagine the scene unfolding, me, calm and collected, presenting the evidence, her, shocked then tearful, claiming it was taken out of context. But something stopped me. A kind of clinical curiosity. If I said nothing, what else might I learn? What else had been happening behind the filter of her carefully curated life with me? I got quieter. When she kissed me, I kissed her back. When she texted, I replied, but I stopped asking about her day. I stopped checking in on plans. I let her take the lead on everything, and I watched. It was surprisingly easy to step back, to create distance while maintaining appearances. I became an observer in my own relationship. During dinner, I'd notice how she'd take a photo of her plate before eating, angling for the best light. 3 or 4 shots, selecting filters, typing captions, all while her food got cold. I'd already be halfway done by the time she took her first bite. She started noticing by day 3. "You okay?" "Yeah. You're acting weird." "Just tired." "Are you mad about something?" she asked on the 4th night, as we got ready for bed. The question hung between us in the bathroom mirror. She was removing her makeup, wiping away the public face she presented to followers, revealing the private one that only I was supposed to see. Only now I wondered which one was real. Maybe neither. I wasn't tired. I was focused. While she danced through her stories and posted selfies with captions like wedding prep vibes, I was moving behind the scenes. I logged into our wedding venue booking account and initiated a cancellation request. We were still within the window to get half back. The venue was a renovated barn with rustic elegance, as the website described it. $12,000 for 8 hours. She'd fallen in love with the chandeliers, antique crystal hung from rough-hewn beams. The contrast, she'd said, is everything. I remember signing the contract, the weight of the pen in my hand, thinking this was the beginning of something. Now I was clicking through cancellation terms, reading about non-refundable deposits and acts of God. Was this an act of God? Or just the inevitable outcome of building a relationship on shifting sand? I called my bank and had my name pulled from the joint savings account we opened for honeymoon funds. That was another $8,000, earmarked for 2 weeks in Bali. Influencer paradise, she'd called it, showing me Instagram posts of other couples posing on beaches and infinity pools. Half of that money was mine, saved from overtime shifts and weekend consulting. I didn't touch her half. I emailed my landlord and told them I'd be vacating a month early. Asked if I could sign a short-term extension on a smaller one-bedroom unit. They agreed. Then I logged back into the burner egg and watched the live replay. The property manager, an older woman named Susan who had always liked me, didn't ask questions. Just nodded and said she had a unit opening up on the east side of the complex. Less square footage, but better morning light. Sometimes change is good, she said, sliding the paperwork across her desk. I wondered if she'd handled breakups before, if there was a protocol for dividing lives that had grown together. Yes. She had left it up. Still public. Still proud. I took a screenshot of the exact moment. Her sitting on that couch, glass in hand with her "he's convenient" line floating in the comment overlay. I didn't share it. I didn't forward it. I just saved it. Then I got a message from someone I barely knew, someone mutual. The notification appeared while I was boxing up my home office after work. A name I recognized but couldn't immediately place. Tara or Sarah, someone from Jessica's dealership maybe, or a friend from college. The profile picture was vague, just a sunset or beach scene. A girl I'd met once through Jessica. It came through the burner account. No intro. Just "dude, you saw that live?" I didn't reply because, yeah, I did. The message sat there, an acknowledgement from the outside world that what I'd witnessed was real. That someone else had seen it too, had recognized the significance of it. There was something validating about that, in a twisted way. I wasn't overreacting. I wasn't reading too much into things. My fiancée had casually dismissed our future together for the entertainment of strangers on the internet. And I was already halfway gone. The decision wasn't dramatic. There wasn't a big moment where I stared in the mirror and gave myself a pep talk. It was more like checking out of a hotel room. Quiet, mechanical, just done. It happened in small moments. Removing photos from frames. Sorting books into keep and leave piles. Detangling my socks from hers in the drawer. 3 years of building a life, dismantled in methodical silence. I found things I'd forgotten about, an old watch my father gave me, ticket stubs from our second date, a birthday card from before we were engaged. I put them in a box marked personal. I waited until Thursday. She worked the late shift that day. Wouldn't be home until after 8. That gave me 5 full hours to clear out. I had already boxed up the essentials, just needed to get them out of the apartment without her seeing. That morning played out like any other. She complained about having to work late, said her manager was exploiting her again. I nodded sympathetically, made appropriate noises of agreement. She kissed me goodbye, left a smudge of lip gloss on my cheek that I wiped away as soon as the door closed. Then I called the movers. The movers were in and out in under an hour, just a one-bedroom job. My clothes, my desktop, a few personal things, nothing messy, nothing she'd even noticed gone until she opened a drawer. I left the ring and a glass on the counter. Didn't write a note. Didn't send a text. The ring looked smaller somehow, sitting there in the bottom of a water glass. The diamond caught the late afternoon light, sending tiny rainbows across the kitchen counter. 3 years of my life, condensed to this silent statement. I considered leaving something else, a note, a copy of the screenshot, some explanation. But what was there to say that she didn't already know? She'd said it herself. I was convenient, not forever. I was just agreeing with her assessment. Didn't even close the bedroom door. I left her Instagram open on the iPad. She was still posting that day. A mirror selfie caption "feeling myself," and a poll asking if she should do her nails nude or red for bridal photos. I muted the volume before I left. Her last post before I walked out the door was a picture of the wedding invitation sample we'd picked out together. Ivory cardstock with gold foil lettering. Sample arrived. To die for, right? Romantic face, 38 comments. 93 likes. A digital chorus of approval for an event that would never happen. When she got home, I imagine it went something like this. She opens the door, tosses her bag onto the couch, calls my name once, maybe twice, sees the empty shelves, the missing drawers, the ring in the glass, then the phone calls start. The first one came in at 8:42 p.m. I was already on the other side of town, setting up my new Wi-Fi router in a quiet little apartment that didn't smell like someone else's dry shampoo. Then another call and another. She started with confusion. My phone buzzed against the cardboard box I was using as a makeshift table. Her face appeared on the screen, a photo from last summer when we'd gone to her parents' lake house. Her eyes squinted against the sun, hair windblown from the boat ride. She looked happy there. Genuine. I wondered if that person still existed somewhere beneath the filtered versions she shared online. Hey, where are you? Did something happen? Then denial. This has to be a joke. You're seriously doing this over a stupid live stream? Then guilt. The voicemails stacked up. Each one a different shade of disbelief. I listened to fragments as I unpacked basic necessities. A toothbrush. A change of clothes. Sheets for the bed I'd bought on the way over. Her voice cracked in the third message. Started strong in the fourth. Broke completely by the fifth. I didn't mean it like that. You took it out of context. Then anger. Grow up, Tam. You just bailed. That's cowardly. Message 7 was the turning point. The moment indignation replaced confusion. Her words sharpened, aimed to wound. So that's it? Years together and you don't even have the balls to say it to my face? Pathetic. I could picture her pacing her apartment, gesturing with one hand while the other held the phone. The performance of outrage, maybe practiced in the bathroom mirror before calling. Was she recording this moment for later? Would my absence become content for her followers? By midnight, I had 34 missed calls. I didn't answer. She tried FaceTiming me the next morning. Then again at lunch. I slept surprisingly well that first night. The new place was empty, just a mattress on the floor and boxes stacked against bare walls, but it was quiet. No notifications pinging. No camera shutter sounds as someone documented the ordinary moments of life. Just the hum of the refrigerator and distant traffic. I woke up without an alarm, made coffee in a mug I'd grabbed from the dollar store on my way over, and felt something close to peace. Then she emailed. Subject line, "Can we please talk?" No. We couldn't because we already did. I just wasn't in the room when she said it. The email was long. 5 paragraphs of explanation, justification, accusation. Words like misunderstanding and overreaction featured prominently. She claimed the comment was an inside joke, something her friends understood in context. That I was taking a 10-second clip from a 30-minute stream and building a narrative around it. That I was being insecure and irrational. This isn't like you, Tam. This isn't the man I agreed to marry. He's convenient. Not forever. Cool. Then I guess forever ends here. The first public post came 2 days later. I saw it during my lunch break at work. A colleague mentioned it casually, not knowing the full story. "Hey, isn't that your girl? Everything okay with you two?" I looked down at my phone to see what he was talking about. There it was. Black and white selfie, hair messy, hoodie zipped halfway up. Caption, "Some people just can't handle a strong woman." Classic. The comments were mostly her followers hyping her up. Heart emojis. The post was perfectly calculated for maximum sympathy. The monochrome filter suggesting depth and seriousness. The casual dishevelment implying emotional distress while still looking photogenic. The carefully worded caption that made her the protagonist without providing any actual details. It was breakup content 101, designed to rally support without accountability. Preach. You're glowing, sis. But mixed in buried deeper were a few like, "Is this about the live?" That stream was messy AF girl. Convenient. She deleted those, but more came. They multiplied faster than she could remove them. Each deletion seemed to spawn 2 more mentions of the live. People tagging friends to make sure they saw the drama unfolding. The digital rubbernecking accelerated. Her carefully controlled narrative was slipping. Apparently someone had screen recorded the live. Not me, some random viewer. They posted it to their story and tagged her. No caption, just the clip, her face, that line, the laugh track in the background. I didn't need to say a word. The internet has a way of remembering what you'd rather forget. For someone who lives so much of her life online, Jessica seemed to have forgotten that digital footprints don't wash away with the tide. Once something exists on the internet, it never really disappears. It just waits, dormant, until the right moment to resurface. She tried to clean it up. She posted a story talking about taken out of context comments and how she was being playful with her girls. She never mentioned my name, never said I'd left, but people could do the math. 1 minute she's planning a wedding, next minute she's posting heartbreak quotes and blaming the internet. A mutual friend texted me, "Dude, I think she's spiraling." I watched it unfold from a distance, this digital unraveling. Her posts became more frequent, more desperate. Statements about loyalty and understanding someone's heart. Vague references to trials making you stronger. The kind of generic inspiration porn that clutters feeds during personal crises. Behind each post, I could sense the panic. Her narrative was no longer entirely hers to control. That afternoon, she showed up at my new place. I was watching a game, half asleep on the couch, when I heard the banging on the front door, followed by her voice yelling my name over and over. I didn't get up. I didn't even mute the TV. She kept yelling, said she just wanted to talk, said she could explain, said this didn't have to be permanent. The pounding was rhythmic, urgent. Between thuds, I could hear her voice cracking. "Tam. I know you're in there. Just open the door." A pause. "Please, baby. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking." Another pause, longer this time. "Don't do this. Don't throw away everything we built." The desperation in her voice might have moved me once. Now it just sounded like another performance. She didn't know I'd already signed a short-term lease with an option to extend. She didn't know I'd already set my wedding deposit refund back to my personal account. I let her yell. After 10 minutes, she left. I waited a full hour before I sent her a single message. I wasn't being cruel. At least, I didn't think I was. Just practical. The relationship had been severed the moment I heard those words, watched those laughs, saw the casual dismissal of our future together. Everything since then had been aftermath management. Clinical and detached, like isolating a virus before it can spread. No greeting, no punctuation, just "you called me convenient. I believed you." She sent back a wall of text. I never opened it. It's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks of rebuilding a life that's just mine. 3 weeks of dinner for one and Netflix without commentary. 3 weeks of not checking social media first thing in the morning. I bought plants for the new place. Real ones that need water and light, not the plastic arrangements she preferred for their photogenic reliability. I joined a pickup basketball game at the complex court. Made small talk with neighbors whose names I'm learning. Small steps toward a new normal. The text stopped around day 10. She finally gave up trying to get a reply, or maybe just got tired of talking to herself. Her Instagram went dark for a while, then it popped back up with a social media break announcement. Captions said something like healing, growing, relearning how to love myself. Sure. The cynical part of me noted that a social media break announced on social media isn't really a break at all. It's just another form of content. Another performance for the audience. Another way to shape the narrative. Look how reflective and mature I'm being during this difficult time. The posts that followed were carefully curated glimpses of her healing journey. Sunset yoga. Journaling with a cup of tea. Long walks on empty beaches. Each one calculated to generate the right kind of sympathy. A mutual friend mentioned she lost a few close followers. People stopped reacting to her stories. Apparently, one of her own friends told her to take accountability for once. That comment disappeared pretty fast. As for me, I'm good. The friend was Katie, one of the women from the live stream. The one who had laughed the loudest at Jessica's dismissal of me. Apparently, even she had limits. You can't just say shit like that about people who love you and expect no consequences, she'd written on one of Jessica's self-pity posts. The comment was gone within minutes, but screenshots circulated. The digital equivalent of whispers behind closed doors. My new place is quiet. My fridge isn't stocked with photo props. My weekends aren't scheduled around content ideas. I sleep better, eat slower, watch movies without having to check the lighting. I didn't change my number, didn't block her. There's a simplicity to my days now that I hadn't realized I missed. No more sitting at restaurants waiting for her to finish taking photos of food before it gets cold. No more pausing conversations mid-sentence because she needed to capture a sunset for her story. No more being tagged in posts with captions that fabricated moments that never actually happened. Movie night with my love when in reality we'd spent the evening in silence, her scrolling on her phone, me wondering when exactly we'd stop talking to each other. I just stopped responding. The last thing she ever sent me came late one night. Simple text. No emojis. No dramatic intro. It arrived at 2:17 a.m., that liminal hour when defenses are down and truths slip through. I was awake, coding on a side project I'd neglected for months. The notification lit up my phone screen in the dim light of my new living room. We were supposed to be forever. I waited a minute, then replied. That's what I thought until I heard you say it wasn't. No follow-up, no reply, nothing. I locked my phone, placed its screen down and went back to living a life that didn't include someone who needed a live audience to feel important. Sometimes I wonder about her version of this story. The one she tells herself, the one she might share someday when the wound isn't so fresh. Does she cast herself as the victim of a misunderstanding? Or has she found a way to acknowledge her role in what happened? I'll probably never know. And that's okay. I don't check her social media anymore. Don't ask mutual friends for updates. That chapter is closed. Not because I'm still angry, but because I've finally understood something fundamental. Some people live for the audience, for the validation of being seen by others. And some people, like me, prefer the quiet authenticity of a life that doesn't need witnesses to feel real. In the end, she was right about one thing. I was convenient, a stable backdrop for her performances, a reliable supporting character in the story she was telling about her life. But I wasn't forever. Not for her. And as it turned out, neither was she for me.